There's a version of you that existed before the world figured out what you were. Before they learned that you couldn't walk past someone in pain without stopping. Before they discovered that your presence alone made them feel seen, heard, understood. Before they realized that your heart was the one door that never stayed locked. That version of you was free, and somewhere along the way, without a single conversation, without any formal agreement, that freedom got quietly traded away. Not stolen, traded. Because empaths don't get taken advantage of by force. They get taken advantage of by love, by loyalty, by an inability to witness suffering and do nothing. So let's talk about the transformation, the one that doesn't show up in self-help books, the one your therapist might hint at but never name directly, the one that changes everything about how you move through the world and why it's not optional. For an empath, this transformation isn't a choice, it's a reckoning. Here's what nobody tells you at the beginning. Being an empath isn't just a personality trait. It's a full-time job you never applied for. From the time you were young, you were already doing emotional labor that most adults never master. You read rooms. You de-escalated tensions before they exploded. You absorbed the grief, the anxiety, the unspoken resentment of everyone around you. And you carried it home in your body like luggage that wasn't yours. And you were good at it. That's the painful part. You were so good at holding everyone else together that nobody thought to ask if you were falling apart. This is the first stage of the empath's journey. The giving. The boundless, breathtaking, exhausting giving. And for a while it feels like purpose, it feels like connection, it feels like love. But underneath all of that, something else is quietly happening. You are disappearing. Not dramatically, not all at once, just slowly, consistently, in the way that a candle doesn't announce when it's running low. It just dims and dims until one day the light is barely there. That's the moment the transformation begins. It doesn't arrive with thunder. It arrives with a strange, unfamiliar stillness. A morning where you wake up and the urgency is gone. The pull to fix, to rescue, to smooth everything over. It's just not there. And in its place is something you almost don't recognize. Exhaustion, yes, but beneath the exhaustion, something harder, something cleaner, a quiet refusal. The world will call this burnout. Psychologists will call it compassion fatigue. But what it actually is an awakening wearing the disguise of a breakdown. Because here's what's really happening in that moment. Your nervous system, your soul, the deepest part of you that has been screaming for years, finally gets heard. And what it's saying is this: three words that should be obvious. 3 words that for an empath can take a lifetime to believe. This is the core of the transformation. Not the dramatic boundary setting, not the sudden coldness that confuses everyone around you. The real shift happens in the interior. It's the moment you stop experiencing your own needs as inconvenient interruptions and start recognizing them as information, as valid, as worthy of the same urgency you've always given everyone else. And once that shift happens, everything on the outside starts to change. The relationships that survive on your sacrificing, they start to feel different, not because the other person changed, but because you stopped pretending not to notice the imbalance. The conversations that used to drain you in silence now drain you loudly, and you can't unhear that sound. You start saying no, quietly at first, then more clearly, and the reaction from the people around you tells you everything you need to know about which relationships were built on genuine connection and which ones were built on your availability. This is the loneliest part of the transformation. Nobody warns you about that. You thought setting boundaries would feel like power. And it does sometimes, but it also feels like grief because some of the people you love most are only comfortable with the version of you that had no limits. And when you change, they don't celebrate it. They mourn their access, and they dress that mourning up as concern. You've changed. You're not yourself. I don't know who you are anymore. They're right. You're not who you were. But who you were was running on empty and calling it devotion. The transformation asks you to grieve that too, to mourn the identity you built around being needed. Because for an empath, being needed can become its own addiction. It's the one place you always felt certain of your value, and releasing it, even when it was destroying you, takes a particular kind of courage. But here's what waits on the other side. Not numbness, not indifference, not the cold, closed-off version of yourself you feared becoming. What waits is precision. An empath who has moved through this transformation doesn't stop feeling. They start feeling with direction. They stop walking into every emotional emergency with their whole heart exposed, and start asking first, is this mine to carry? Is this person doing the work, or am I the only one working? Does this connection leave me fuller or more hollow? These aren't selfish questions. They are survival questions. And for the first time, you're allowed to answer them honestly. There's a concept that keeps surfacing in spiritual traditions across cultures. The idea that true compassion requires a self to offer it from. You cannot pour endlessly from a vessel that never gets refilled. You cannot genuinely hold space for others when you have no space left inside yourself. The awakened empath doesn't just understand this intellectually. They feel it in their bones, and they stop treating self-abandonment as a virtue. What emerges from this transformation is something quieter and more powerful than what came before. An empath who knows their worth, who can sit with someone in pain without dissolving into it, who can offer genuine support without it costing them their stability, who has learned the profound difference between empathy and self-erasure. This is the version of you that your sensitivity was always trying to grow toward. Not the one who said yes to everything, not the one who collapsed under the weight of everyone else's storms, but the one who stands in the rain with you, fully present, fully feeling, and still knows the way home. So if you're in the middle of this right now, if it feels like something is breaking in you and you can't tell if it's destruction or deliverance, it's both. That's exactly what transformation is. Something has to end for something truer to begin. You're not losing your gift. You're finally learning how to protect it. And that's not the end of your story as an empath. That's where it actually starts. Have you been through this transformation? Are you in it right now? Tell me in the comments so you're not alone in this. And if someone in your life needs to hear this today, share it with them. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can do for someone is show them they're not disappearing. They're arriving.